Sometimes, the people who make the world laugh are the ones who once cried alone in the dark. Have you ever wondered how a boy with no home, no parents, and no certainty became the man who taught the world to smile? This is not a story of fame. It's a story of courage, of a little boy who turned pain into purpose, and silence into the sound of laughter. London, the late 1800s. A city of smoke, crowds, and endless noise. And somewhere in those cold, grey streets, walked a small boy named Charlie Chaplin. His father was gone. His mother, once a singer, had lost her voice and her health. And the world didn't seem to care. Most nights, Charlie slept wherever he could. Sometimes in workhouses, sometimes under the open sky. He was hungry, tired, and forgotten. But even in his darkest moments, he carried something rare inside him. Imagination. One rainy evening, Charlie ran into a small theater, just to escape the cold. He hid behind the curtains as a performer slipped, fell, and the audience burst into laughter. Something magical happened. For the first time in a long time, Charlie laughed too. In that single moment, he felt warmth. Not from a fire, but from a dream. He whispered to himself, "If I can make people laugh, maybe I can make them forget their pain, like I just forgot mine." That night changed everything. Days turned into years. Charlie started performing on the streets, mimicking actors, dancing funny, making faces for coins. Children followed him, clapping and cheering. For a few minutes, he wasn't poor. He wasn't lonely. He was a storyteller, a creator of joy. But dreams don't feed hunger. At just 9 years old, he was sent to a workhouse, a place where poor children worked for food. Hard walls, harder days. But even there, he found ways to smile, telling jokes, doing impressions, making others forget their misery. One old caretaker once told him, "Chaplin, there's light in you. Don't ever let the world turn it off." He didn't forget those words. Years later, with barely a few coins, Charlie sailed to America, chasing nothing but a dream. He performed in small plays, slept in cheap rooms, and waited for a chance that never seemed to come. Until one day, it did. A studio director noticed his act, and something about his expression, his eyes, his innocence, felt different. They gave him a camera test, and soon after, the world met the tramp. The tramp wasn't just a funny man. He was every man, poor, gentle, and kind, always smiling through life's unfairness. Through that character, Charlie told his own story of poverty, struggle, and silent hope. People laughed, but behind their laughter, they cried too. Because they saw themselves, their fears, their heartbreaks, their humanity. Charlie had found his gift. And it wasn't comedy. It was connection. Years later, a journalist asked him, "How do you make people laugh so easily?" Charlie smiled softly and said, "Because I know what it feels like to cry." He realized that life's pain had never been a curse. It was his greatest teacher. The hunger, the loneliness, the struggle. They gave him empathy, and that empathy became his art. He turned sorrow into laughter, and weakness into wonder. He showed the world that even silence can make people feel something beautiful. So maybe, this story isn't just about Charlie Chaplin. Maybe it's about you, because somewhere in your own pain, there's a hidden gift waiting to be discovered. You don't need a perfect life to create something meaningful. You just need to listen to that quiet voice inside that says, "Keep going." As Charlie once said, "Nothing is permanent in this wicked world, not even our troubles." So smile, even when it hurts, because sometimes, that smile might just be your greatest strength. So maybe this story isn't just about Charlie Chaplin. Maybe it's a reminder that even in pain, there's a purpose waiting to be found. If this story touched your heart, give it a like, share it with someone who might need hope tonight, and don't forget to subscribe to True Chapter for more stories that speak to your soul.